Hello everyone, I am Sudipta. Welcome you all to my channel CAD Tutorials. Today we are going to start part 12 of our complete AutoCAD tutorial course. In our previous episode, we have discussed a little about polar array, and in this episode we are going to complete the array toolbar. Three types of array we have: polar array, rectangular array and path array. Now in this diagram, we have used polar array to draw this middle figure, and here we will draw this figure. It is made up of array. For drawing this figure, I am going to draw this circle first. I am just tracing over it, and then going to draw this rectangular part, suppose this one, and draw these two circles. Now I am going to move these newly drawn objects, selecting these two like this and the circle, then pressing enter, taking base point here and pressing it here. I have to move it a little left. Okay. Now you see in this array, if I double click on this array, what I am getting? Item number is 10. Naturally, the gap between the items is 36 degree as it is covering full circle 360 degree. Then there is row 1, 2, 3. 3 rows are there, and gap between them is 75 millimeter. Now I am closing this array first. I will move this here. Okay, going to array tool, here polar array, selecting the array tool by clicking. Then first I have to select the object which I want to arrange in a circular way around a circle. So selecting this, then pressing enter, object selection is complete. Now I am going to take the center of the circle, click, and by default 6 items appeared. Now I am going to change the item numbers here. You see on the screen, going to change it to 10, typing 10, then pressing enter. Then I am going to change the row number. I am making it 3, then pressing enter. So it is done. I am closing this array. As the array is associative, if I double click on it, we will get array tab on the ribbon. Now I am going to edit this array. I will replace sum of circles with this square like object, and for that I am going to double click on an item of the array. Then array tab will appear in the ribbon. So array tab appeared. Here is the option replace item. Replace item I am showing you by zooming, clicking on it. First we have to select this object which I will use to replace the circle, selecting this, then pressing enter to complete selection. Now I have to select the base point. With respect to that point, this object will be placed. So I am selecting its center point. Then I have to select the objects which I want to replace. Suppose I want to remove this one, then this one. Alternatively, I am going to select. So it is done. Now I am pressing enter to complete, and again selecting exit option, click then close the array in the ribbon part, click. So our array is done. In this way, I can replace some of the items of an arrayed object. Our next option is editing this array, double clicking on it. Here is the option edit source. I am taking this option edit source, selecting it. Now suppose I want to change the base item, that means the double circle, concentric circle. So I am selecting that, click. Here I am selecting OK. Now you see the item is selected. Initial item was this one, and I want to remove one circle, deleting, and draw a rectangle inside it, switching off snap and draw on it. Now you see these things is showing the preview. What change I have done in it is appearing on all the objects. Suppose I want to do another circle inside. Then I am going to click on the Save Change button in the ribbon. Here it is at the right upper corner. Save Change, click. So you see I have changed the item of the array. So we have seen two examples. One, we have replaced one item with an external item, and the second case, we have replaced the initial item or modified the initial item. So this is polar array, and again going to double click on it. Here you can see level just beside the row, level, this one. I will show this when we will draw 3D drawings. Then I am going to close the array. Now another option is left, that is reset array. If I use that, I have to click on it to bring back the array here, and you see here is the option reset array. That means the items which I replaced with an external object will be removed. I am clicking on it, then you will get the effect. Click. Here you see the external rectangular part or external square like part I have used here, that is removed, and initial base item is taken to make the array. Okay, I am going to close the array, click. Now I am going to show you rectangular array. Here is a rectangle. I have drawn 800 length and 500 millimeter height. Suppose it is a metallic plate and I need to drill on it with this hole size. So I have to arrange these holes on this plate. Suppose I need 8 column and 5 row of these holes. So for that I am first going to line tool. Then here you see O track is on. I have already switched off dynamic input. Now I am placing my cursor at this end point and just moving it in the right hand side and typing 100, then pressing enter button. So a point is taken at 100 millimeter distance from this end point, and then again going to this end point, activating this O snap button here and just moving upward direction and pressing 100, then enter. So another point is taken at 100 millimeter distance from this end point, then pressing enter. Now I am going to place this circle at the midpoint of this line. Now I will apply rectangular array tool on it. Going to array tool, here it is polar array. I am just clicking on the right hand side down arrow. Here is the rectangular array option, clicking on it. Then I am selecting the circle which will represent the holes. Selection is complete, object selection is complete, so I am pressing enter. Array creation tab appeared on the ribbon. Here I am going to the left hand side. Here is the column. I have to change the column number to 8, selecting it and pressing 8, then enter. So here you see 8 number of columns appeared, and row I know it will be 5. I have written 5 here and then pressing enter. So I have specified row number 5 and column number 8. Now I have to specify the gap between the rows and columns. Here it is 75 showing. I am going to make it 100, then pressing enter, and then the gap between the rows I am going to make it 100, typed 100 and then pressing enter. Now we can see that the circles are arranged in 8 row and 5 columns throughout the rectangular area. So this type of drawing we can do with the help of rectangular array. And here you see level. I am keeping my cursor on that button, level. This is used for 3D drawing. And here is edit source button. That means if I want to change the object, then I can select this button, click. I am going to select this circle. Here I am doing OK. Now you see only this circle is active. All the rest of the items are inactive. So suppose I am going to show another circle inside this, switching of O snap, click. Now you see, as we have changed our initial source object and the rest of the items are modified according to that. Now to save the changes, I am going to save change button at the right upper corner. Here going to click. Now our array is modified. Now I am going to double click on this array. Here one option remained, replace item. I am going to select this replace item option, clicked on it. Then I have to select an object with which I will replace some of the items of the array. So selecting this rectangle, pressing enter to complete selection object. Then I have to take a base point. So I am taking a point inside the rectangle, approximately at the middle of it, click. Now I am going to select some of the objects which I want to replace with this rectangle, click. In this way I can replace some of the objects here. Okay, I am going to finish. So I am pressing enter. Here it is done, and here I will get the array close, click, and our array is closed. So this was all about rectangular array for 2D. Now I am going to array toolbar here, clicking on the down arrow, selecting path array, click. Now I have to select object. I want to arrange this rectangle along these curved lines. So this rectangle will be our object. I am selecting it. Then to complete selection, pressing enter. Now I have to select the path curve. So I am selecting this curved line, click. Now you see that the rectangle is arranged in certain number throughout the curve, and here I am going to see the item number is 22, but it is off. We cannot change it. Everything depends on the gap between the items. Here it is 36. I am going to increase this gap. Then item number will decrease. I am going to do it 45. Then pressing enter. So you see the gap between the items increased and number here decreased to 18. Suppose I am going to make it 50, the gap between the objects. Then pressing enter. Now you see item numbers reduced to 16. In this way I can arrange this object, and here is also the row option, but this is generally used for 3D objects and level also for 3D objects. Here is associative button. I am selecting this, click, then closing it. Now you see all the objects here are separate. They are not connected to each other because we have switched off associative options. I am going to undo all this. Again I am going to array tool, path array here, clicking on it, selecting the object, pressing enter to complete object selection, then selecting the path curve, click. Now again I am going to change the item number gaps 50, pressing enter. Now here it is associative on, so I am closing the array. You see, if I select an item, all the items are being selected, so they are associative. If I change one, everything will be changed. To edit this, here also edit source option and replace item options like rectangular array or polar array. If I click on the align item, click here, so they will be arranged like this. I am going to click again on the align item, click on it. Now I am going to close the array. Suppose I am going to draw and circle here. I will show the replace item option, so I am going to double click on this path array. Here you see replace item. I am clicking on it. I am going to select this circle, pressing enter. Base point I am going to take at the center of the circle. Then I am selecting the items which I want to replace. In this way I can replace them, pressing enter and enter again. In the ribbon the array tab appeared. From here I can reset array, click here, it will be in its previous position. Now I can edit source object also, click on edit source, selecting this rectangle. Here I will click OK. Suppose I am going to draw a circle inside this rectangle, and you see all the objects are like this. I can delete the rectangle from here. So they are arranged. Now I am going to save changes. On the right upper corner, click here. So the array is complete. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel to get the notifications of the newly uploaded videos. We will meet in our next tutorial. Till then, take care. Goodbye.